This week's going to be a little different. I kind of want to touch on the topic of perspective. If you've ever felt stuck, or maybe that word that the older generation hates when we say, burned out, right? You ever feel that? Maybe some days it's just tough to get out of bed. Just know that that was me 2 years ago. I was working 2 jobs. I'm sure many of you do that too. You know, don't get me wrong, we lived a great life when we were in Maine. But if anybody who's watching this right now is from the north, can probably relate to living in the northern states like Maine, for instance. Come March and April, in my opinion, the 2 worst months you can ask for. That's what we call mud season. It's kind of that in-between moment where the snow's melting off and the springtime's coming around. And even when it gets into May, I know that's kind of the start of fishing season. So if you're a fisherman, it's great, but boy, those black flies up there will pick you up and carry you away. Sitting in our house in March of 2023, Kate and I were both tired. She was working in a clinical setting as an MRI tech, long, demanding hours. It's dark. It's been dark forever, it feels like. It's cold. It's dreary. We were just done. And Kate and I had been working on traveling for many years. We thought about it. And we were sitting on the couch that night, and I looked at her, and she said, we need to do something different. And I said, well, think about traveling again. And I can't describe to you the way she looked at me. It really wasn't like an excited look, but it was more like an inquisitive look. You know, you might be onto something here. Fortunately, we knew somebody, one of her friends that had been traveling as an MRI tech. But back then, as many people that may have watching this or know, like, very similar to like a traveling nurse, right? And you hear about the stories, like, basically write your own paycheck. It's unbelievable. It was not easy to make that decision to travel. I mean, you're giving up your life. It's a huge risk because once you sell your house, you buy this RV, which is worth, in my opinion, 50% of basically what you buy it for. It's just the nature of the beast. And you don't even know if you're really going to like it. But nonetheless, we steamed forward, went for it. Fast forward to 2 years from now, and I can tell you that the perspective I have on life is completely different than it was 2 years ago. And also, the opportunities that have been provided to me by doing this and opening my mind and looking at life from a different view is priceless. And I'm saying this from our point of view for doing this lifestyle, but I'm saying this applies to anything you want to do in life. If you wanted to start your own business, change careers into something that is completely different than what you're doing. I want to become a mechanic, or I want to become an IT professional. The list is endless. And will it take hard work to get there? Of course, just like anything. It takes consistency. It takes grit. Because you might think, these are just kids that live in this RV. But it took a lot of work to get to where we are. And a lot of good choices that we had to make over the years to be able to put in a position that we could do this comfortably. Contrary to popular belief, we're not just winging it. The number one thing that you need to do is be open to being taught and being open to failing. And you need to make these steps incrementally every day. And that's how we got to where we are. Because if you follow your dreams or whatever you have for an idea in your head, and you actually chase that down and you do it, it's going to be the most rewarding thing you can do in your life. And you're going to just feel happier and not so down in a rut. And maybe you're not in a rut right now. And you're watching this thinking, yeah, this doesn't apply to me. And maybe that's true. Happy with whatever life you live, even if that's right now and you don't have to make a change. If you live that life, I am so happy for you because a lot of people struggle with that. And even the people I know that, let's say they have that big job or the business and they make all kinds of money, right? They're doing very well. And from the outside looking in, everybody says, oh, that person, they've got it made. They did it, must be nice, or whatever the words are for it, right? But deep down, when you peel that onion back a little bit, they said, I've sacrificed all this time in my life to become this successful, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm not as happy as I should be. And it's weird when you hear stories like that, because those are true. And there's also people that live a very opposite life. They don't live up to the potential that they could have, and they're on the same spectrum. So in my opinion, you want to be in the middle. of everything, because that's the sweet spot. The middle of everything is the sweet spot. I tell you what matters, number one, is having a spouse that loves you and that is there for you, picks you up when you're down. It's the most important thing you can have in life, and especially RV life. If you're thinking about doing this, you truly need somebody that is your best friend to be able to do this with, because it is very difficult. And when I mean difficult, I mean you're living in a tight space with this person. You're with this person almost 24/7. There's no friends that are out like all the time that they just go to. You can't just go to your friend's house. You know, you make friends on the road, but it's different, right? So if you fight all the time, it's not going to work out. I'm going to take you to this fishing spot that I learned from my friend Doc. We're going to go out and try to catch a fish today. I haven't been out without him yet, so I just hope I don't get skunked. If you told me 10 years ago that I'd be in a river by myself fishing in Montana, I'm telling you, I'd say that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You don't know what you're talking about. Things change, perspectives change, and I'm telling you, whatever you want, you can do. Things really aren't going my way, but what do you expect when you're a newbie? I know this fish here. Try this last ditch effort. Well, the reality of life is struck out. So I know I explained how we kind of got the process started, but we're doing something completely different. We're not even doing the travel MRI thing. We're both completely remote, working for two good companies. We're really enjoying that because we're not pushed to have to go to a certain part of the country that we don't want to go to. So we don't want to be in Arizona in the summertime. We don't want to be in Maine in the wintertime. Simple as that. But these opportunities came to us when we decided to hit the road. If we didn't decide to go on the road, we would not be in the positions we're in, because we would have just stayed where we were. We wouldn't have opened up our eyes to something new. Just wanted to give you that, why I feel the way I feel. But finally, we got some rain here in Montana. I'm hoping I can go find a little spot, right? I got to get this fish on the line. It's like a mission. I have to get the fish. It's got to be in the video. You got to see the fish get pulled in the net, all right? You got it. But you might not. You might have to wait till another video down the road. But other than the dead bugs on the windshield, isn't that just the prettiest thing? Such a subtle mountain range here. Really, the video's doing no justice, but it's not very big, but they're just pretty. Gonna make one of those stops, like I always said, just gotta do it. I saw this place on Campendium. I don't think I can get the Brinkley in here. That pit toilets, but look at this view. You got the river on the other side of the fence, and then you got this like rock. It's so cool. I'm pretty sure it's just like camper vans, yeah. That's why the van life would be pretty sweet. Well, that's the other side. The only thing is these railroad tracks are still in use, so last night the train woke me up, and I'm way away from here. That's cool that they have that little recreation slash camper van overnight place. Boy, that'd be a nice. I bet that looks like a nice spot to fish. Step out your front door and throw the line out. What do you think? We're going for a ride. I said that, we're going for a ride where we are. I mean, this is about as riding as you can get. A little beaver house out there. barbed wire on each side. I could get the Brinkley through here. Oof. Well, that was exciting. Let's check this spot out. Looks like the water's running pretty fast. Now we're trying this out with the doggy. I've never brought her with me. But to finish up the video, I just want to say, by us changing the way we were doing things, put yourself into a uncomfortable position, and it's really amazing, you know, what you can accomplish from that. Challenge yourself. Even if it isn't something as big as this, just try something new, you know, and pick up a new hobby. Like, I've never fly fished before in my life, and I picked it up, and now it's a hobby of mine. So, you know, anything's possible, guys. But if you kind of like this style of video where I'm kind of coming up with a topic and then just showing you the day in the life, please let me know. It does help. I do go off your comments. Especially last week, I got quite a few comments on last week's video, obviously with it being related to the Brinkley. It's a pretty cool life out here on the road. Now, everybody asks us when we're going to stop, and Kate and I both say, we don't know. We don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So we're having fun right now, and we're going to do it until it's not fun anymore. And it's a huge help to us if you hit the subscribe button. We're really trying to push to that 1,000 this summer. It's a big goal of ours. We're on our way. Really appreciate you guys stopping in every week, the ones that do. And guess what? We'll see you next week. Bye for now.